Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Good Friday service. It's going to be different than our usual Sunday services. We're going to really invite you into an hour of sacred music, of sacred words, sacred conversation afterwards. So it's really going to be quite a beautiful evening together. We have special guests that go way back 30 or something years for me and my family, which is Donna Miller, our soloist this evening, and Tommy Reeves. They were at Unity of Burbank and North Hollywood for almost 30 years, and so they come with me and my family in that tradition. So we're sharing them with you for the Easter season, and you're going to be delighted. So, Lent led us up to this evening, Lent being that season of spiritual growth. So tonight, Good Friday, is traditionally the day that Christians observe Jesus' crucifixion. And in Unity, we translate the crucifixion metaphysically as the crossing out in consciousness of certain errors that have become fixed states of mind. That's from the Revealing Word, Charles Fillmore. So in other words, we're crossing out those negative thoughts about ourselves, about our life, about others that have become so stuck within us and our consciousness that it's hard for us to see our world and our lives in any other way. So tonight's about releasing, and it happens to correspond with Passover, the first night of Passover, which is also that festival of releasing. So tonight we celebrate together Passover, Good Friday, and the ability to release. So, releasing what no longer serves us. So tonight specifically, I'm inviting you to release anyone, any situation that you need to forgive. Just as Jesus forgave those who sent him to his physical death, we too can forgive ourselves and other people for those thoughts, feelings, actions that keep us in our own inner darkness. So we encourage you to allow the songs and the readings tonight to be your own inner voice, to be the inner voice of Spirit singing and speaking to you this evening. So let's start our evening with prayer. So as we take a breath and settle in, we just leave behind whatever it was, the rushing, the driving to get here, and we let that chair fully support us. We may close our eyes or maybe find the candle up here to gaze upon. We take a collective breath, that breath that reminds us that we're all human together, that we're all here to support one another in our release and forgiving process. It's in this evening that our hearts expand, and so we feel the expansion of our heart space. It's in this moment that we remember I am the light. I am the love. I am the power. I am the presence. I am the divine expression of Spirit. And so we breathe into that knowing. And our hearts expand a little more. And then we pray knowing that we are the light, that we are the love, we are the power, we are the presence, that we are the divine expression of Spirit, the one power, the one presence of the universe. Love, wisdom. And so we feel the love in this room support us as we release and continue our spiritual growth. One moment, one reading, one song at a time. so with hearts and souls filled with gratitude, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. We open ourselves up to this moment of learning, hearing, and transforming. And so it is. And so we let it be. Amen and amen.
We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. Feel free to sing along. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. Spirit divine, come to me, feeling love, healing me. Open my heart, allow me to see beauty and love lives in me. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy. Tell someone else. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy. Spirit divine, come to me, feeling love, healing me. Open my heart, allow me to see beauty and love surrounding me. We are holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am whole. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy.
he said, in Jesus' final moments of his human journey, as told in John 19:30, he said, "It is finished." The final days of our Lenten journey offer an opportunity to reflect on our spiritual growth. Such reflection shines a light on the blessings we have received, gifts of friendship, love, understanding, and support. It also reveals those places where we may have fallen short, where perhaps we withheld many of the same gifts we received. As these are revealed, a choice is available. I can cling to the grief and sorrow I feel over missteps I have made, or I can humbly accept the learning offered and draw closer to the all-loving presence of God within me through their release. This indwelling presence knows no misstep and finds no fault. It simply pours forth, dispelling shadows and lighting the path ahead. As I release shadows of grief and sorrow, I can say to the hold they once had, "It is finished." And the verse is, "If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, and the light around me become night, even the darkness is not dark to you, the night is as bright as the day, for darkness is as light as you." And that's from Psalm 139, verses 11, 12. I'm sorry.
I'm vamping.
I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. Ooh, oh, you say I am love, and I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong, when I think I am weak. You say I am held, when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, oh, you say I am yours. Oh, and I believe what you say of me. I believe the only thing that matters now is everything you say of me. In you I find my worth, in you I find my identity. Ooh, oh, you say I am love, when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong, when I think I am weak. You say I am held, when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, oh, you say I am yours. Oh, and I believe what you say of me. I believe. Taking all I have, and now I'm laying it at your feet. You have every victory. You say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. And you say I am strong when I think I am weak. You say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, oh, you say I am yours. And I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. I believe, oh, I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. I believe.
So the daily word for today is forgive. Oops. In Luke's gospel, Jesus is so attuned to divine love that he asks forgiveness for those who are putting him to death. Jesus' example inspires me to release any resentment, bitterness, or anger I feel, no matter how much I believe those feelings are justified. I recognize that unwillingness to forgive blocks my awareness of love's flow. If the burden of resentment is so overwhelming that I feel I cannot forgive, my willingness opens the way. I am willing to forgive. I hold this thought, repeating it silently each time the memory of a past hurt arises. Feeling my willingness grow stronger in each repetition. I feel renewed peace and joy as the strength of divine love heals my heart and releases unforgiveness. I forgive and I am free. From Luke 23:34, then Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. Thank you.
Are you on?
Here I am. I'm on. Uh-huh.
Am willing to be willing. I am willing to say yes. I allow and I surrender to the Spirit of willingness. Willing to see myself as God sees me, holy and wholly divine. Willing to open my heart and forgive, to let go and let God reside. I am willing to be willing. I am willing to say yes. I allow and I surrender to the Spirit willing to live in the fullness of God, willing to give and receive, one with the one who is calling my heart to be the love I'm meant to be. I am
Willing
to be willing. I am willing to say yes. I allow and I surrender to the Spirit of willingness. I allow and I surrender to the Spirit of willingness.
I'm willing. That's a good, powerful word right there, right, everyone? I'm willing. Well, it's been Holy Week, and so during this week of Holy Week, which is Palm Sunday through Easter, we see the themes of divine order and release and forgiveness. Forgiveness, everyone, is big in this story. Here's Jesus. He's arrested simply because the people are enjoying his teachings and he's becoming popular. So they arrest him. That would make me feel not so happy with them, right? He's betrayed by his friends. And then even at the end at the cross, the crowds are saying, yes, crucify him, put him on the cross. So here he is betrayed again. That's a lot of betrayal. And yet he taught about love and forgiveness throughout his life. How do we get to that place of love and forgiveness? So we know that first step is to be willing. Willing. Because we know when we're willing to forgive, it unblocks whatever's in the way so that love can flow again. It's the willingness to forgive that unblocks and allows love to flow. And sometimes there's people, right, situations that are really hard to forgive. But the important part as we walk into this evening and into the weekend is that step to be willing to forgive. It's that movement in the right direction towards and for really our own spiritual growth and inner peace. So there's a great book that I've brought tonight. It's called The Gift of Forgiveness, Inspiring Stories from Those Who Have Overcome the Unforgivable by Catherine Schwarzenegger Pratt. And you can see I've earmarked it a lot. But she wrote the book. She had a woman who she grew up with. She said they were like sisters. So from birth until around the age of 20, they were so close that they were like sisters, and then they had a big falling out. And she went about her life for a first month or two and thought, okay, I've forgiven this person. And then she ran into her a few months later, and all of those feelings of ick came up. She felt anxious and icky and like, oh, and she realized she had not forgiven, that she still had forgiveness work to do. And it made her curious. How do people who've gone through big events in their life, how do they forgive? And so she interviews 20 different individuals, many of whom you'll know because they're famous, who have forgiven or in the process of forgiving, who have shown a willingness to forgive. So she says here at the end of the book, actually, about forgiveness. She says, whether we've received it or given it, or whether we're still struggling with it, none of us is a stranger to forgiveness. What stuck with me most during this journey of writing this book is how deeply curious everyone seems to be about understanding forgiveness, about finding a way to practice it in their own lives, whether it's with a friend, a spouse, a former spouse, a family member, a deceased parent. Yet, during this process, I was struck by how the people I interviewed had found a way to take their pain and turn it into purpose. Their strength astounds me. And so one of the first stories that we have as human beings is the story, that forgiveness story of Jesus and his life journey. That's one of our first stories of forgiveness, of being celebrated and then betrayed and then crucified, and then on Sunday we'll celebrate again, right? To go up and down and up and down. And yet, again, Jesus forgave everybody. That was his life's work. So Mark Nepo, who is a writer, he writes the introduction, a foreword in her book, and he writes, what it really comes down to is the clearness of heart to stop defining who I am by those who have hurt me, and to take up the risk to love myself, to validate my own existence, pain and all, from the center out. The deeper healing comes in the exchange of our resentments for inner freedom. At last, the wound, even if never acknowledged by the other person, can heal and our life can continue. It sounds like the words and teachings of Jesus, right? That we live from a place of love, and that love is within us, and from within us out. We live from in to out. And so forgiving and healing and life continues, and the forgiving and healing and life continues so much in Jesus' story that here we are more than 2,000 years later still talking about his forgiveness story. That's how powerful it is. You know, I had to take place in a practicum, an internship during my field ministry program. And so for 4 months, I was working in the area of addiction and recovery. And I heard a lot of stories of regret and anger, overcoming, survival of many different kinds. But mostly what I heard were stories of forgiveness. Forgiving others and forgiving self. And then in that forgiving process, a new life. A new life. If you will, being reborn. Because here they were, letting go of the shackles of an old way of being and doing things, and turning to forgiveness for themselves and others, and showing up in a new way and having a new life. The actor Tyler Perry, he says this, though, pretty powerful. It's not an easy journey to get to a place where you forgive people, but it is such a powerful place because it frees you. So what is forgiveness? Forgiveness is when we allow ourselves to let go of those resentments which negatively affect our mind, our thoughts, our consciousness, our whole beings. Forgiveness releases us from the mental and emotional ties to a situation or a person. In other words, forgiveness allows us to give up the past. Because when we're not forgiving, we're living still in the past. So forgiveness allows us to give up the past, to give up the hurt, to give up whatever that loss was, so that our hearts now have room to welcome in our good. So our hearts make room for the love, wisdom, and healing to enter in. But as long as we're holding on to it's because of that situation or that person, then it or they will continue to live inside of us, hurting us over and over and over again. Whereas the person who did it to us has gotten on with their lives. Or the situation is in the past. So the darkness stays in us unless we forgive. So forgiveness is about scooping out the darkness so we can let the light in. Eckhart Tolle, the author, says, "The moment you truly forgive, you have reclaimed your power from the mind." And I will say also from your body, because it lives in your body. I know for my own self, my own health challenge, in 2016, there was a doctor at the beginning, a neurologist, who treated me, who actually caused me more physical pain. And so I went through, my own forgiveness work, and there was a time where I thought, I've forgiven him. But then, we'd get the bill with his name on it, or I would think about him, or I'd drive by his office, and the tinge, that little tingy-twingy inside. And that's when I knew I had more forgiveness to do. So I would imagine, and this is what I did for the entire forgiveness process, I'd imagine him standing in front of me, and I would say, I forgive you. You did the best you knew how, with the experience and the consciousness you had at that moment. And I'd place him in a bubble of white light, and again I would say, I forgive you, and I release you to your highest good. And then I would just imagine myself cutting the energetic cord between us and seeing him floating away to his highest good. And I really believe it helped with my pain management and my healing process, because it wasn't tied to me. It wasn't stuck inside of me anymore. So in this book, one of the individuals that she interviews is Elizabeth Smart. You probably know her story. So when she was 14 years old, Elizabeth was abducted from her bedroom in Salt Lake City. She was held in captivity for 9 months by a couple who abused her. And then eventually, after 9 months, she was found and rescued by police and returned to her family. And so Catherine interviews her. And here's this part that I found so profound. She writes that Elizabeth realized something crucial. Elizabeth says, "Forgiveness is not necessarily a two-way street. It's a very personal thing, and you don't need two people for forgiveness for it to happen." She learned that at the heart of forgiveness is compassion. Compassion for the person who harmed you, and more importantly, compassion for yourself. As she told me, it's loving myself. It's allowing myself to feel whatever emotions I feel and to deal with them. And if it's anger, you know what? I think that's just fine. And you know me on Sundays, what am I always saying, right? Feel the feelings. Okay, let's not put a unity Band-Aid over it. Feel the feelings. Let them come up to the surface. And that she knew that staying angry at her captors wouldn't make any difference to them. It wouldn't punish them or erase any of the harm that they had caused her. It would only trap her in her own cycle of trauma and rage. I would never be able to enjoy my life. So once she recognized what was important to her, reclaiming her life, being able to enjoy her life, she was able to let go of her anger. And then she found reasons to be grateful. I talk a lot about gratitude and gratitude lists. And so she writes, when you have those moments, when you feel like you're falling back into anger or sadness, allow yourself to feel those feelings. And then love yourself enough to let them go and to try to embrace your life moving forward. Yeah. Feel all the feelings. Be compassionate with yourself and the other. Forgive and find gratitude. That's our spiritual journey. Dr. Henry Cloud wrote, if I'm not forgiving them, I am still in a destructive relationship with them. Lewis B. Smedes said, to forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that the prisoner was you. And Maya Angelou said, it's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself to forgive. Forgive everybody. And I'll add, that includes yourself. Because so often, the person we need to forgive the most is us. So forgive. Because forgiveness frees you. Love yourself so much that you forgive. Make room for the new spring, the new life that can arise when you clear out the old with forgiveness, with the new thoughts of compassion and gratitude. When you remember again that you are a divine manifestation of life itself. So tonight is a wonderful moment to remember that no matter what happens to you, you are the Christ. You are the divine. You are the light. So we're going to bring that into our time of meditation, that you are the light. So go ahead and settle in. We're going to let Donna lead us into meditation, and then you'll quietly affirm to yourself some release and renewal affirmations. So go ahead and just take a breath. Let your eyes close, or you can gaze upon our Christ candles. And we'll let Donna sing us into meditation.
The things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. The mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. I am light. I am light. Light. not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. All light. All light. All light.
I release problems that seem overwhelming. I renew my awareness of my spiritual nature. And we take a breath into that. I release a habit of judging others. I renew my commitment to see the divine in all beings. I release doubt, confusion, and indecision. I renew my divine power of wisdom. I release my fear of moving forward. I renew my willingness to step out in faith. I release pessimism and negative thinking. I renew my positive expectations.
I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light.
I release my habit of worrying. I renew my faith in divine order. I release discontent and criticism. I renew my gratitude in all things. I release any belief in limitation. I renew my sense of possibility.
I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light.
I release the fear of not having enough. I renew my awareness of abundance in my life. I release any drama or conflict. I renew my inner peace in spirit. I release any sense of discouragement. I renew my hope with the power of affirmative prayer. I release thoughts or fears of illness. I renew my openness to the healing power of spirit. I release fears of being alone. I renew my connection with spirit, self, and others. I release old grudges and resentments. I renew inner peace by forgiving. I release anger and blame. I renew my patience and compassion. I release my darkest fears. I renew the strength and courage of my heart. I release the shadows of grief and sorrow. I renew myself in the serenity of silence.
I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
So ending our time in meditation by whispering to yourself, I am light. I have released, and I step forward in this moment new again. I am light. And so we start to move our fingers, our toes, our head from side to side. We take a breath, a rejuvenating breath, bringing us back to this present moment, the chair that's been supporting us, as we join Donna in a chant.
I'm going to teach this to you. One line at a time. Fill me up with the grace of forgiving. Fill me up with the grace of forgiving. Fill me up with the light of your love. Fill me up with the light of your love. Fill me up with the grace of forgiving. Fill me up with the grace of forgiving. Spirit, let me let it go. Spirit, let me let it go. Fill me up with the grace of forgiving. Fill me up with the light of your love. Fill me up with the grace of forgiving. Spirit, let me let it go. Fill me up with the grace of forgiving. Fill me up with the light of your love. Fill me up with the grace of forgiving. Spirit, let me let it go. Let it go. Fill me up with the grace of forgiving. Fill me up with the light of your love. Fill me up with the grace of forgiving. Spirit, let me let it go. Fill me up with the grace of forgiving. Fill me up with the light of your love. Fill me up with the grace of forgiving. Spirit, let me let it go. Spirit, let me let it go. Spirit, let me let it go. You feel it? Spirit, let me let it go.
Who's ready to let it go? Okay, so shake it out. Shake it out, shake it out. Very good. Take a deep breath. We've taken in a lot this evening, and we've released a lot. Okay, let's take another breath. And let it go, let it go, let it go. Nice. Just a reminder that we are supported by love offerings so that we can bring these special services and our Sunday services and our classes and everything throughout the week to you. So, hey, this special QR code here, we've got some youth here that can teach you how to point your phone at that and donate to us. That's the easiest way. And then we've got text to give, and of course our website. We also have a basket in the back and a sign in the back also with that handy dandy QR code. So please consider supporting us so we can keep being here and making a ripple effect, right, in the Caneo Valley and beyond. And so I want to thank everyone. Thank you, thank you. Do we have a thank you slide? Oh, let's say this together, because we'll just know that the gifts are here and coming, and we know there's an abundance coming. I'm seeing like a tidal wave coming, okay? So let's bless that tidal wave of gifts. So divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, and I trust God. Yes, we do. Okay, well, I want to thank Donna and Tommy, please. I also want to thank Tommy DeGagne, who stepped in to be our sound tonight. So thank you, Tommy DeGagne. Thank you to Graham, our almost high school graduate here, for video. Thank you for Suwan for coming, making an extra night for us, Suwan. Thank you for the Nyers. You're going to be helping us clean up, I hear. Thank you. And now I said it out loud to everyone and live stream, so now you got to. Sorry. That's how that works. You can forgive me and see it all comes back around. Very good. And thank all of you for being here. Thank you to everyone who is watching online, who's watching now and afterwards. But thank you for making tonight a sacred moment for yourself. Because again, as those changes happen within you, it's so exciting. It's the vibration that gets sent out. And then we are the change in our personal world and then the larger world. So congratulations to all of you. Give yourselves a round of applause for showing up and saying yes to your willingness for your spiritual growth. So let's stand and sing, Yes, There Is Peace on Earth.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it
And together we affirm the light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so it is. Amen. Thank you for joining us tonight, everyone. We'll see you Sunday for Easter Sunday, 10 a.m. Blessings.